Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. A couple of years ago, I really wasn't that happy with where my personal style was at. I often found myself not really enjoying what I was wearing, and I was in that common loop of having a closet full of clothes but nothing to wear. Since I started revamping my style, I've come really far, and it is mainly due to some of the habits that I have developed through that process. First and foremost, the main habit that has greatly improved my personal style is wearing my favorite pieces over and over and over again. For me at least, I feel like my personal style didn't really manifest into what it is today until I decided on some pieces that I didn't mind wearing over and over again. A coat, boots, jeans, accessories, signature jewelry, whatever it is, finding something that you can wear over and over again is gonna determine your personal style. The truth of the matter is that your personal style is what you're actually wearing. It's not the image in your head, it's not the pins in your Pinterest boards, and it's not the clothes in your wardrobe either. Your actual personal style manifests in what you're wearing every single day. So making sure that you find some key pieces that aligns with your vision and your values is key. A couple of examples for me personally is something like my gray wool coat, my black Hermes bag, and pointy leather boots. This has become my signature look for winter because it's something I can always reach for and feel like I look really stylish. Each of these things I have worn north of 150 times, and because that is what I walk around in and what I'm seen in, that by extension becomes my actual personal style. So I made sure that these items that I like to wear again and again align with what is important to me. That's something like aligned with the Scandi look, something that is sleek and classic and simple and feminine. These are great quality pieces that generally still look new after these many times of wear, and that's another thing. If you want your personal style to come across as polished and on point, having clothes that you are able to wear again and again because of the quality and the durability is another great key component to this. There's also the fact that if you don't wear the same things over and over again, that means you are then bound to go shopping all of the time, and shopping, especially for well-made, good-looking clothes that are aligned with your value, will take up a lot of time and energy. So if you have to do that all the time, there's a chance that you don't always win in this process and end up buying things on impulse, and with that buying things that doesn't align with the style that you're trying to cultivate. So wearing your favorite items over and over and over again to let your style actually manifest as what it actually is key, and is one of my best habits. The next habit that has greatly improved my personal style is buying quality things. Now, I still fall into fast fashion purgatory every once in a while, but generally the vast majority of the things that I've added over the past couple of years have been of much greater quality. As a general rule of thumb, I have added less, been more diligent in what I'm taking in, making sure it aligns with every value that I have for clothes, and then once I buy it, there's a bigger chance that it's actually gonna becoming something that I'm actually going to wear. And I just find that when I buy something that isn't good quality, which still happens, I oftentimes struggle making it a key piece within my personal style, and it's simply because if it's not a durable piece, I simply won't get to wear it that much. But also, these pieces, as you wear them, they tend to lose their shape a little bit, start pilling where they're not supposed to. The fabric and the structure will start to deteriorate in all sorts of interesting ways. And as someone who values looking polished more or less for their personal style, once an item starts looking like it's all fussy and not well kept, or I just don't really want to wear it. And so when you're only buying things that you can't wear that much, you're so busy dabbling in this fast fashion, bad quality purgatory of things that won't last, that you can never really slowly build on a sustainable, manifested personal style. Buying quality, almost always worth it. Bad quality, less aligned with my personal style. And by extension of that, the next habit that I've gotten into that is really improving my personal style is inspecting garments before I buy them. Honestly, in this day and age, a lot of the stores that we're buying from, it can sort of be a hit or a miss whether what we're getting is something that will last within our wardrobe. And you can walk into Massimo Dutti, true story, and look at some of the expensive, really beautiful pieces. And once you get closer, you'll realize that this piece of clothing is already falling apart in store before you've even taken it off the hanger or started wearing it. When you find something that you like, whether it's in a more high-end store or it's a high street store, or if we're way down in the fast fashion stores, just make sure that you actually inspect the garment. Pay attention to what it's looking like while it's still on the hanger in store. Slowly but surely our expectations have been sort of oppressed way down, and we forget to have high expectations for the things that we buy. And sometimes you will even buy a perfect looking item, take it with you home, only to wash it on the recommended cycle for it to then still fall apart, or it to still start pilling, or for it to still not look good after a few times of wear. But a lot of the time you'll be able to tell in store. So it comes down to something like expecting the seams, expecting the fabric, notice any weird shapes or creases, notice what happens to the fabric if you're like pulling on it, notice any types of creases or wrinkles that looks like they're probably not gonna either go away or just in general that this piece has a huge tendency to look like this. A great example for this is something like coats from the fast fashion stores. A lot of the time they will make these weird creasings towards the end of the coat that just does not look good, and a lot of the time you will really be able to tell before you even put an articles of clothing on. So that's what I do now. No matter what I buy and from where, I always give it a serious inspection before making any decisions. It won't always save you, but it definitely can't hurt you. The next habit that has greatly improved my personal style is a little bit different, and it's by being a little bit more combative when things don't work out my way. It has happened that I have bought something that, regardless of my well taken care of it and good intention, still looks really bad very early on. It's just a quality issue with the garment that I paid good money for, and in the past I might have just like letting it go. I would have been disappointed, but I just would have added that piece of clothing to the back of my closet and then never really getting excited about wearing it, and then it will slowly, lonely die in my closet, never to get anywhere until I decide to get rid of it. And I don't do that anymore. Now whenever I buy something and it doesn't perform, I go into the store to complain about it. And yes, it's not pleasant, but I also found that when I buy a skirt for $100 and I wear it 7 times and then after that it looks so bad that it's unwearable, that's not on me to just deal with that. So I always keep the receipts for the things that I buy, and then if I wear them and they look very bad very quickly, I will go back to the store and I'll show them the issue, and I will stand my ground if I know that I have done nothing wrong with this article of clothing. And it has improved my personal style for a couple of reasons. One, of course, is that then I don't let that item hang out in my wardrobe. But 2, I hold myself accountable when I haven't been discerning enough and I have made a mistake, because after I have started to care more about towards what quality my dollar goes to, and I have started to not just let it go and be again combative when I need to, that's just not a pleasant experience. Actually, it's kind of like a tiring experience to be in, but it makes me motivated to buy from the brands that I know deserve my dollar, because they make clothes that first of all is in good quality, but then most importantly, when then something is wrong with the garment, that brand would stand by it because they don't want to fight with you over quality issues. I recognize that's not the most positive habit, but I really am fed up to hear with the fact that somehow it has become just expected that a garment you paid good money for is just going to not be wearable shortly after, and then the onus is just on you to deal with it. And then the next habit that is greatly improving my personal style is keeping track of favorite outfits. It took me way too long to actually start doing this, but it is really such a good habit for cultivating your personal style. There are 356 days in a year, and let's just say that every day of that year needs an outfit. If you already have one outfit that is like your favorite and you love to wear it and you wear it maybe once a week, that's already 52 4 days out of that year that you don't have to wear something else. And then whenever you put on an outfit and you're like, you know, I like this outfit, you walk around and you feel good about yourself that day, but then you sort of just like forget about that outfit. That's such a shame, because every time you created an outfit that you really enjoy and you don't wear that, that's a day where you have to wear something else. And if you're not in the habit of remembering what within your wardrobe you're really enjoying, you will more likely look to novelty and new items and shopping to fulfill that void that is not necessarily a void, because you have great outfits, you just didn't keep track of them. And there's a couple of great ways you can keep track of this. Of course, you can do something like a selfie and just keep them in a certain folder on your phone. I've also noticed this new thing where people copy the outline of themselves and then paste that into the notes on their iPhone. I think that's such a smart way to do that. I keep track of what I wear every single day. I put all of my things in the style book app, and that way I'll be able to sometimes go back and look at what outfits I have worn if I'm lacking inspiration. But even there, it can be hard to keep track of your actual favorite outfits, because again, I'm writing down everything every single day. So having like a designated space towards the outfit that just they just work for you, that is something that has really greatly improved my style as well. One thing is finding your personal style, but another thing is actually creating it. And honestly, we create it by what we wear. At the end of the day, it is what you're wearing that is your personal style, regardless of what is going on in your imagination. So that's really something that I've become very aware of, and I try to keep that in mind as I add things to my wardrobe, even though sometimes it can be a challenge. If you enjoyed this video, consider watching this one from me as well, and I will see you there.